So we're Rachel and Kayla from Small Towns and City Lights. Thank you, Maggie, for taking time out of your schedule to come talk with us this morning.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
To start us off, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, kind of your background, how you got started in the music industry?
Sure. I grew up in Potomac, Maryland, which is a town right outside of Washington, D.C. And I started singing as a baby, and my parents and my sisters were just really encouraging of my love of music and of singing. And my parents would drive me to choir practice and private parties, and I was just kind of singing all over the place. And eventually I got hooked up with a Bruce Springsteen tribute band out of Jersey and went on tours with them in the summertime whenever I didn't have school. And got some original music written and got it heard by Tommy Mottola, who a lot of my friends know him as the guy who married Mariah Carey, but he actually did all sorts of things in the music industry. And he saw the potential in what I was doing, but country music is where I wanted to be. And he was very pop oriented, and so he introduced me to James Stroud, who's a producer in Nashville, and he's produced all sorts of people like Toby Keith and Tim McGraw, and that was my foot in the door. So at the time I was at Clemson University, and I left school to pursue music in Nashville.
Now, you're not from down south, so was country always something that you were interested in, or did you just kind of, go with it because that's where you ended up, being the producer?
Actually, I would have not moved to Nashville. The move to Nashville was my choice because I loved country so much, and that to me was what was authentic to me as a songwriter and an artist. But yeah, in Maryland we kind of have this identity crisis. We're not north, we're not south, so you hear all sorts of music, and my mom really influenced my love of country. She played Bonnie Raitt and Linda Ronstadt and Mary Chapin Carpenter all the time in the house. And then my dad kind of exposed me to the other end of the spectrum, like Michael Jackson and Frank Sinatra. And it was when I started writing that really determined my choice to move to Nashville.
That's cool. And we also heard that you were the 9th most played female country artist in 2012. That's a big deal. How does that feel, being in the company of like Carrie Underwood and these huge superstars in this industry?
It was really humbling, first of all, to be in that company of artists that I've listened to for the past 5 to 10 years. It's been really cool to be in the list with those people. And also, country radio is a community that is very selective, but once they embrace you, it's like they're exposing your music to their listeners. And it felt very nice to be welcomed into that group of people.
And you've had a couple singles out too, so what's that like, hearing yourself on the radio when you get in the car and turn it on?
It's very cool, because especially when you're in the car and you hear it and you look over to the car next to you and you're like, they could be hearing my song right now. This is on the radio, it's not just on my CD. And it's very neat. It's almost surreal. It's hard to really comprehend the fact that hundreds of thousands of people can be listening to your song at that very moment.
That's great. And you said that you're a songwriter. Now, I know everyone's different. What's your writing process? How do you kind of get writing? Is it quick? Is it take a while?
A lot of people ask, like, do lyrics or melody come first? And it changes for every song. I think every song, you just have to be very receptive to the inspiration for whatever it is that you're writing. My thing would be like 3 in the morning. I'd get this idea and I'd be exhausted and I'll remember that in the morning. But you can never remember it the same in the morning. So having even your iPhone, like that notes app, open it up and jot down whatever it is, or get your voice recorder and get that melody in that moment, because it's that hard and it's that easy. It just comes to you. But if you're not present enough to know that you've just been inspired for something, then you miss it.
Now, you mentioned some big names that you listened to growing up. Who would you say is the one artist, living or dead, that you would have loved to songwrite or perform with?
Johnny Cash. Absolutely. I think he is just the original outlaw and such an amazing writer, and able to just capture vulnerability, and with it's such a juxtaposition with his image and everything that it's amazing to watch and listen to.
And how about...
And you said living or dead, so...
How
I had
about
to take the opportunity.
somebody now living that you would currently like to go on tour with?
I would love to go on tour with Keith Urban. I think would be really fun to tour with, just because his music has a lot of variety to it, and I think that on my album there's some really traditional country sounding songs, and then there's some more rockabilly sounding songs, or just rock and blues, and I think that his audience would be compatible with my music.
And you mentioned your style of music. We have a blog, and one of our biggest audiences is fashion. So what would you say is your style, either on stage or on the red carpet? What kind of, do you always have input? Do you have to have do you put a little bit of you in everything you wear? And
Yeah, absolutely. I think that my biggest mantra when it comes to fashion is being totally comfortable in whatever it is that you're wearing, and confident. I think that not all trends are for everyone. And there's some crazy trends out there, but if you love it and it fits with your personality and your style and it remains consistent, then go for it.
Now, can you tell us one fun fact or unique thing that fans might not know about you that you think is something pretty interesting about yourself?
Yeah, sure. When I was a freshman in high school, I won this radio contest on our local Clear Channel station. It's the top 40 station. It was DC Idol, and I won a trip to Miami, and I got to be in that movie from Justin to Kelly.
Oh my gosh.
I was an
Oh,
extra.
We
that's our
actually
favorite.
we
It's
love
your
that
favorite movie? Oh, that's the first time I met Kelly Clarkson, and
Oh
we
my
ate lunch
gosh.
together, and she was so sweet. And I think there's another winner from another station, and she sang like one of Kelly Clarkson's song. What's the song that she won right after Idol?
Oh, a moment like
A
this.
moment like
Yeah.
this, yes. In her face, and Kelly Clarkson just sort of like sat there and smiled and was so sweet about it. So it was a great
That's
first
awesome.
impression and a very memorable cameo.
She seems really nice. We saw her at LP last night, and I don't know if you were there, but she had misplaced her wedding ring, so she was just like freaking out about it on stage, and just was so
Oh.
personable with the crowd. She found it
Oh
later
my
on.
gosh,
but
that happened to Tim McGraw too. When on the stage, like he reached out and someone pulled off his wedding ring accidentally.
I'm sure that happens a lot. Have you ever misplaced something on tour? Because I'm sure it's crazy backstage,
or
getting
had
ready,
someone
or
grab off your necklace, or
Well, I have 4 girls in my band, including me, so we are misplacing things
Everywhere.
all the time. It's just I don't even get fazed by it. My fiddle player left her iPad on the plane when we were in California last week, and we were so stressed out that night. We went back to Burbank the next morning, and it was there at the Lost and Found. So that should inspire your faith in people returning
Yes.
items to Lost and Found, especially like an iPad. I mean, they could have
yeah,
easily sold that. So
what is, if you weren't doing music, what would you be doing?
wanting to be in the music industry, that is a question that I never really had the opportunity to ponder because I pursued music so early in life. I left college before I even got to declare my second major. I got accepted for music, but I was going to be a management and performing arts major, and I was in Nashville by the time I was 19.
Well, it seems like which would obviously not happen because you're doing great and your songs are awesome, but yesterday we were also at the softball game, so if music doesn't work out, you won MVP, so I
Right.
mean, maybe you
I
have a softball career on the side too.
I don't think it was because of my skills, though. I don't think that is what warranted my MVP nod. I think I was there to boost team morale, though. I had lots of team spirit yesterday. I loved the Grand Ole Opry, so.
Now, have you played softball before? Was that your first experience with that?
In 3rd grade, I stopped in 3rd grade. My dad was actually my coach, and I love him. He's awesome. We're a great father-daughter relationship, but as a softball coach, I was like, no, I'm not having this. This is not working out. I'm out of here. So he was proud. He was there yesterday cheering me on.
Oh,
So what's next for you now? I mean, after CMA is all over, all the craziness, are you having some downtime? Are you hitting the road? What's the plan?
I am hitting the road immediately. As soon as CMA Fest is over, I will be hitting the road with my band, and we're pretty much visiting every state this summer. I think every continental state we're going to between
Wow.
now and the end of August.
That's awesome. Or you can cross off all 50 states on your bucket list then.
Right, exactly. In fact, we're going to Wyoming on the 4th of July, and I haven't been there yet, so I think that's the last one for me.
That's
And
awesome.
Montana, I need to go to Montana. That's it.
That's awesome.
Well, best of luck with everything. We look forward to hearing all the new songs coming out on the radio, and
Thank you.
hopefully we'll see you on the road.
Absolutely. It's good to talk to you guys.
Great.
You
Thank
too.
you very much.